Everybody, welcome back to another episode of our Bible study series about the Sabbath. So, last time we saw that the Sabbath is a memorial of redemption and also of sanctification. But we also saw that the Sabbath is a sign. Let's explore that further. So, let's read Exodus 31, verses 13 and verse 17. And it says, Speak thou also unto the children of Israel, saying, Verily my Sabbaths ye shall keep, for it is a sign between me and you throughout your generations, that ye may know that I am the Lord that doth sanctify you. And verse 17, It is a sign between me and the children of Israel forever. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, and on the seventh day he rested and was refreshed. And let's read also Ezekiel 20, verse 20. And hallow my Sabbaths, and they shall be a sign between me and you, that ye may know that I am the Lord your God. So the Sabbath day was a memorial, and this memorial was to be a sign between the children of Israel and God. God has his chosen people today as he had back in the day. So nowadays we are spiritual Israel. So this message is for us today as well. And we get some clues in these verses as to why it is a sign between us and God. Because in Ezekiel 20, verse 20, it says, that ye may know that I am the Lord your God. What happens when we keep the Sabbath and when we honor it according to the commandment that God gave us, which means on the seventh day, it means that we are acknowledging God as our creator. We know exactly who God is. He's our creator. Because it says in Exodus 31:17, It is a sign between me and the children of Israel forever. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, and on the seventh day he rested and was refreshed. So he set an example for us to follow, and he wants us to follow it. He wants us to also rest like he rested and was refreshed on the seventh day. And it also says that it's a sign between him and the children of Israel forever. Forever means forever. It has no end. So the Sabbath, the seventh-day Sabbath, is still valid today. So it's a sign between us, children of God, and God as our creator. We've seen several Old Testament verses, but now let's see in the New Testament where this sign is also mentioned. So let's read Hebrews 4, verses 9 and 10, and it reads, There remaineth therefore a rest to the people of God. For he that is entered into his rest, he hath also ceased from his own works, as God did from his. So again, in these verses, we see the example that God gave us. He rested from his work on the seventh day, not because he was tired, but because he wanted to set an example for us. And so this is referenced here in Hebrews 4, verse 10. Now it's very interesting because the word rest in Hebrews 4, verse 9 is the word sabbatismos in Greek, which literally means Sabbath rest, not just general rest or relaxation. This is the only place in the New Testament where this word appears, and it directly refers to Sabbath keeping, seventh-day Sabbath keeping. This shows that the Sabbath still exists for God's people. It hasn't been abolished or replaced. And then verse 10, again, we see just as God rested on the seventh day, believers are invited to enter into that same rest, both spiritually and physically. So the Sabbath rest is still available and is still required by God. It has not been abolished or changed to another day. It cannot change God's law. So it's a spiritual rest rooted in trust and obedience. Sabbath keeping is a New Testament reality, not just an Old Testament tradition. So the Sabbath is not just historical, it's present and future. But who exactly is it for? Let's explore that next. Thank you so much for watching and see you next time.